My boy Chandler finally got a fight announced, and he's fighting his old foe, the one who stole his dreams, as he would say, Charles Oliveira. And even though he may not deserve it, and I wouldn't argue with you if you said so, he has been inactive for 2 years coming off a loss of against Dustin Poirier, just waiting for Conor to come around. I think if there's one guy that should get a privilege to jump the rankings a little bit, it should be Chandler. He stepped up for the company, fun fights all the time, he did the Ultimate Fighter, was waiting for Conor, was agreeable with everything that the UFC were planning for him. I think you give him Oliveira. And if he wins, then that only makes it better for the division. Because hear me out, if there's one guy that's going to beat Islam Makachev, it's not going to be Arman Tsarukyan, it's not going to be Mateusz Gamrot or Justin Gaethje. I mean, Justin Gaethje has a chance, but it's not going to be Max Holloway, Gamrot, Tsarukyan, Poirier, Oliveira. It's going to be Michael Chandler or Justin Gaethje. And right now, Justin Gaethje's not really in the conversation. I think he would need at least 2 more. Right now, the way things are going in the lightweight division, I guess even with 1 more, you could potentially make him legitimate. But let's say he needs at least 1 more to get back in the conversation. So right now, his name is not really in the conversation. But if Michael Chandler goes out there and knocks Oliveira out, like he almost did in the first fight, he's next for a title shot after Tsarukyan. He is totally next for a title shot. Who is there? Gamrot, he just got dusted by Hooker. Oliveira rematch, he's gonna get knocked out by Chandler. Poirier probably gonna be retired, and he already got 3 title shots. Justin Gaethje, like I said, he needs a couple wins or at least 1 win in the meanwhile. Max Holloway, he's gonna be killed by Ilia Topuria, so I don't think he's gonna go up to fight Makhachev after that. So yeah, it's gonna be Chandler or Topuria. And I don't think people want to see Islam fight another 45er. So yeah, Michael Chandler beats Oliveira. He's next for a title shot. And I think he has a pretty good chance. I would even say that he has the most chance. And I wouldn't even say that I wouldn't even be surprised if he gets it done. Because Islam is not the type of guy that you can go with the outside foot battle and try to be technical against. Dustin Poirier made a mistake trying to do this. Trying to stand in front of Islam and feint and go technical with him. It's not going to work. You have to go the Michael Chandler route. You just go out there, you swing overhands because he's the most powerful guy in the division. Nobody hits as hard as Michael Chandler in the division. So you go out there, you swing, you slam him on the floor, you take chances, you take risks. Because if you're out there waiting to be technical and for Islam to make a mistake, he's not going to make any. So you have to go out there exactly like Michael Chandler does. Michael Chandler had moments against the best lightweights in the division of this era. He had moments against Gaethje. It was a super close fight. He had moments against Oliveira. He dropped him against the fence. It was, I think it could have been stopped. He had moments against Poirier. He was actually doing really good against Poirier, and then just kind of Chandlered his way to a loss. The physicality of Chandler is something that I've still yet to see in another lightweight contender. I don't know about like newcomers or whatever that I maybe haven't seen yet, but for the ranked guys and let's say the popular guys, I've never seen someone as physical as Chandler. The guy gets caught in the choke and just stands up and slams his opponent on the ground. Like, who does that? The guy is definitely on steroids, let's be honest, but at 40 years old almost, who moves like that? Who does these things? And call me crazy, I think if there's one guy that can compete against Islam in the wrestling, it's going to be Chandler. I think Chandler is so much stronger than Islam. And I think Chandler's skills are not comparable, but they can match up very well with Islam. And you combine that with his pure strength, I don't think Islam is going to have a good time trying to take him down, at least in the first 2 rounds. I think in the first 2 rounds, if Islam tries to take him down, he's going to be very surprised how easily he gets reversed and how he goes for a takedown and he's just going to find himself in the air waiting to get slammed. That's the type of thing Chandler would do. Now, I'm not saying that Chandler is going to win necessarily against Islam. I'm just saying he's the one with the best chance. I think Islam is definitely going to game plan and play it smart. He's the smartest fighter in the division, at least, maybe in the UFC. He has the best fight IQ. His game plans are perfect, but he's not as good as people say he is. People make it seem to be like he's this unstoppable force that nobody's gonna do anything against. I think his performance against Oliveira was his best one, and since then he's never been able to recreate it quite as well. Maybe with the Volkanovski rematch, but against Poirier, he struggled a lot more than we thought he would. Against Volkanovski, he struggled a lot more than we thought he would. And even on his come up, there's a lot of fighters that made him struggle a lot more than we thought they would. So I don't think it's crazy to say that Chandler could get that shot in, or that Chandler could get that slam or that takedown, and just could make it happen. I'm tired of these fighters trying to be technical with Makhachev. These guys been training since birth, since they're like 5 years old, taking vitamins at their schools. And now you're not gonna be more technical or win the outside foot battle or win the clinch. No, you just have to go out there. Like, you just have to go out there for real. It's as simple as that. And if there's one guy that's gonna do that, it's Chandler. Now, could he go out there and just get submitted in the first round? You can't do a single thing against Islam. That's possible. Highly unlikely though. In the first rounds, highly unlikely. But it could happen. But even if he didn't, the result would have been the same. It's either you go out on your shield or you get submitted in like round 4 or 5 or get decision to death. Like, no, it's not gonna be good. So you just have to go out there, leave everything out there and just go for it, and then you have a chance. Even more if you're Michael Chandler, a guy with his attributes. Cause for real, like, if it's not Chandler, who's gonna fight Makhachev next? And Makhachev just wants to move up, and then he's not gonna fight Bilal or whatever. I don't know what's going on at welterweight with and lightweight, because Islam had plans to move up, but now Bilal is champion. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But if it's like after Arman, because Arman is next, and Arman, like, to be honest, I think he beats most of the lightweight contenders, but I think that everything Arman does, Islam does a little bit better. But it's always gonna be a competitive fight. I just think that everything Arman does, Islam does a little better. So if after Arman, who is it gonna be? Oliveira again? I think Makhachev is a stylistic nightmare for Oliveira. I mean, Poirier is done. Gaethje, Max. Yeah, like Gamrot, Hooker. Like, who's gonna be Hooker? Hooker gets another win and then he fights Makhachev. Nah, I don't want to see it. So it's gonna be Michael Chandler. Hopefully, I'm a big fan of Oliveira, and it would break my heart to see him lose. But for the common good, for the greater good, we need a Michael Chandler win, and then we need Michael Chandler versus Islam Makachev, because he's the only one with a chance. He's the only one who can possibly do the unexpected. He's the only one that could possibly do the impossible and pull it off. And how ironic would it be? Because Chandler has been snubbed by everyone in the UFC. He's been snubbed by Gaethje, he's been snubbed by Poirier, he's been snubbed by Conor now, been played for 2 years. Like, how ironic would it be that Chandler is the one who ends up with the belt after all these guys had like 3-4 title shots? How ironic would it be? And I can just see the back and forth between Poirier and Chandler. And now Poirier is going to try to insert himself back in the title picture if Chandler gets it done. Or it's going to be a rematch. I mean, if Islam gets past Arman, then he's probably gonna, and he fights Chandler and then loses to Chandler probably gonna have to face him again. And that time I don't think Chandler can do it twice to Islam. I think he can get it done once, but I don't think he could do it twice. So yeah, how ironic would it be that Chandler is the one that ends up with the belt and he's the one that ends up defeating Islam Makachev? Whew, man, all the man can do is dream. Because this fight has the potential to be a total banger. And I'm not looking past Oliveira. I think there's a high chance that Oliveira wins. And I think Oliveira should be the favorite. I think he is the favorite, actually. But it's just like, okay, Oliveira wins. Then what? Do we make Oliveira versus Islam? When we already saw how that fight went. And we already saw that a guy similar to Islam in Tsarukyan did the exact same thing. I mean, no, it was definitely closer, but he's still the one that shut down Oliveira's style. So, like, what difference do we expect? We need fresh matchup, and we need a dangerous guy to face Islam, and not a technical guy, not a like a Dustin Poirier, like technical boxer with good power, good hands. No, we need a Justin Gaethje. We need a Michael Chandler, somebody that's just gonna put everything into his shots. And even then, Justin Gaethje, like I said, I think Justin Gaethje has less chances than Michael Chandler to beat Islam, because now he's gone technical on us. He used to go out there like against Cerrone, against Ferguson, against all these guys, Johnson, and now he's more like technical. Now he picks his shots, and he's more patient, and he tries to play the game a little bit more. But before like the Justin Gaethje that fought Khabib, I would have gave a better chance to beat Islam than the Justin Gaethje that we have now. But That's my opinion. I think if there's one guy to beat Islam right now, it's going to be Michael Chandler, just because of the way he fights and because of his physical attributes. But that's my opinion. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's going to get dusted. Maybe his style is so simple to counter that Islam is going to find a way to beat him in a round or two. But I just don't really see it happening. First to first, he needs to get past Oliveira, which is a tough task for anyone except Islam. And we might see where this goes. He himself says that he might even take the Conor fight instead of the Islam fight. But we're gonna see where it goes. You guys let me know what you think. You guys let me know, who do you guys think could beat Islam right now? Because when I look at the rankings, I lose faith.